So we all know that the boys universe is full of fake and fraudulent heroes. We don't even really see them take on actual threats for the most part. They're mostly just fighting amongst themselves. We see a lot of kind of the boys fighting, the Seven or different heroes or so-called soups from the Seven, maybe different soups in general, but we never see the soups actually fight some real villains. And yes, there are times that Homelander references some people as super villains, but a lot of the things that happen in The Boys are just flat out staged. I'm not saying this as a bad thing, I'm just saying it as a factual thing. A lot of the things that happen, or a lot of the actual villain quote-unquote events, are staged. So what would have happened if we actually made it so that there was an event, an extremely catastrophic event that happened in the boys universe, and how would they survive, or could they even survive it? That's why today we'll be talking about, could the boys universe survive the Saiyan invasion? Yes, I said it, the Saiyan invasion from Dragon Ball Z, but we will be talking about mostly Vegeta and Nappa. So it all starts here and now. Prince Vegeta hears of Raditz's death, and he decides that he's going to head to Earth. At the end of the day, he hears about this so-called Kakarot, and Vegeta wants to make sure that he falls in line, but also is fully and willing to actually take on their Lord Frieza. Now, Frieza is a tyrant, a scary tyrant, so Vegeta wants as much help as humanly possible, or as Saiyanly possible? Something like that. But it's going to take 2 years for them to arrive on Earth. But during this 2-year journey, both him and Nappa are actually resting or sleeping. And while they are resting, they would then get sucked into a wormhole and be taken to a completely different universe outside of their normal plane of existence. Nappa and Vegeta would continue their travels through space on their way to what's supposed to be the Earth that, Goku or Kakarot defeated Raditz, but this Earth is going to be massively unknown to them. Currently on Earth, the Seven is on a quote-unquote mission. They have Starlight, Homelander, A-Train, The Deep, Maeve, Translucent, and Black Noir. They are all currently stopping a villain group that is currently trying to destroy an entire city. But as they save the day, as they destroy these villains, as they, stop this huge and totally horrible reign of tyranny, let's just say, after they handle all of those things, you have Homelander who would exclaim out loud that with the Seven here, there will be no villains that can hurt this great country, that they're going to hold on to their values, and they're going to make sure that everybody is protected. And then there would be a voice from a mile distance or a mid distance that says, cutting off the whole scenario and stopping this entire set, because all of this was all just a ruse, a fraud, a fake. All of it was just flat out for show. That's all they do, and that's everything that this world is made up of. The heroes, the villains, all of the above, it's all for show for the most part. Even most of their so-called saves are fake. There is truly not really a real hero amongst them all. So let's just say there is no Son Goku, there is no Son Gohan. The boys universe, they're gonna have to fight the Saiyan invasion under pretenses of being fake heroes. So can they muster up the strength to actually stop this invasion? We'll know very soon, because 2 space pods come barreling in from the sky, crash landing in the United States. Now, I will say this, many people are freaking out. They are freaking out about where these space pods have come from, and many other countries, excluding the US, right? The US, but many other countries are also in a complete and utter panic. The spacecrafts actually landed in Dallas, Texas, and they're absolutely terrified about what's to potentially come. Now, with officials scrambling to basically get a feed on who these people are, and Supes actually heading over to the area, the feed or the video would play out to see a hulking figure and then a smaller man with spiky hair. Both of them wearing what seems to be kind of a half sunglasses thing that straps to the ear and covers only one eye, what we know as a scouter. Now immediately though, Vegeta would click his scouter and read many decently powerful beings headed in their direction, one actually stronger than the rest. Vegeta would tell Nappa that it seems that Kakarot is already on his way, so might as well give him a bit of a battleground, as Nappa would raise up his 2 fingers and explode the entire city that surrounds them. Now, as this explosion would ring off, the other Supes would be in complete and utter shock at the desolation that was created from one blast. So much so that they think that this had to have been C4 or some compacted explosive that they set off to basically give a massive warning. But when the entirety of the 7 and many other heroes to follow are basically going to this area, this giant crevice now, Nappa would then stand there waiting. Vegeta would signal to Nappa that whoever's to come, well, he'll take the first swing at it, in which Nappa would be extremely excited to take on whoever is about to show up. And the people that do show their face first are Starlight, Homelander, A-Train, The Deep, Maeve, Translucent, and Black Noir. Now, Nappa would be the first up to obviously take on this ragtag bunch of heroes that are not so heroic, for the most part at least. Starlight, at least can be seen as somewhat heroic, but being heroic doesn't mean you're being strong, and if Nappa faces off with Starlight first, going head to head with someone like her, it wouldn't even be close. Nappa would absolutely destroy someone like Starlight, who, yes, has superhuman-like strength, but the strength isn't even comparable. It's not even close, not even an ounce close. I mean, at the end of the day, Nappa just showed that he's more powerful than most of them there by just exploding a city with a flick of his finger. Whatever they're able to do, whatever they're capable of, it is monumentous in terms of comparing them to these other versions of these heroes. Now, how would Nappa fare against someone like A-Train? A-Train would go down, well, as one of the fastest people in the world, but Nappa, well, let's just say he's extremely fast as well. We have seen how fast Nappa can truly be because Raditz was able to actually dodge a special beam cannon. Yes, it was pretty slow of a charge up and a shot, but that same special beam cannon was actually able to go to the moon and explode it in a matter of a couple seconds. And Nappa is easily twice, if not more, stronger than Raditz. In some iterations, multiple times stronger than Raditz, maybe even 3 times or to 5 times stronger than someone like Raditz. So in terms of the speed category, we may not see Nappa do some insane things in Dragon Ball Z, but Nappa is fast as hell, and he would make 8-Train look like he's moving in slow motion, and we know how non-durable 8-Train truly can be, so Nappa would easily be able to defeat 8-Train in one foul swoop. Now, how would the Deep fare? Well, let's just say he ain't faring too well. We've seen Dragon Ball characters absolutely obliterate different types of sea creatures, and even if the Deep got the biggest creature you could possibly imagine, shoot, even if he somehow wakened the Kraken, Nappa could obliterate the Kraken in a matter of seconds with a giant beam of his mouth, and, well, he would probably be annoyed by the Deep and just, absolutely eliminate him in a matter of a split second. Now, for the people that I could see actually standing somewhat of a chance, which, by the way, I'm going to cross off Translucent immediately, because yes, this invisibility or this kind of semi-transparent might allow him to survive a little bit longer or maybe even get away, but with scouters and the scouters that they utilize, they would be able to track where he is and defeat him as well. the main people that I would look at that stand, I wouldn't say stand a chance, but stand at least a better chance than the people I've already referenced, would be Homelander, Maeve, and Black Noir. Now, you might be wondering, well, how are these people actually going to stand a chance? Now, for starters, Maeve would stand more of a chance, in my opinion, because she is exactly what a Saiyan would look for in a partner, right? I'm not saying that's the alleyway that could happen, but in terms of a fight, she would not stand a chance against someone like Nappa, and she would be lucky to be allowed to survive. But also, another reason why they stand at least maybe a 0.01% of a chance, excluding Homelander. Homelander is pretty strong and a little bit unknown to a lot of people, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, with that said, we have Black Noir and also Maeve, who are, in terms of combat prowess, are pretty damn decent at fighting. Now, Nappa is a little bit more brutish in his tactics, so technically you could say in hand-to-hand combat they may be able to actually get the best of him. That's if you got rid of the super strength that Nappa has, though, because we've seen what happens when you try to block an attack from someone like Nappa. Your arm goes, well, for a better term, bye-bye. Your arm would just disappear in one blow. So there's a good chance that trying to block an attack from Nappa would not be very good. But you know what? Let's give the boys universe a little bit more of a chance. I honestly, truly believe that Nappa will defeat Starlight, A-Train, The Deep, Maeve, Translucent, and Black Noir very easily, just based on his speed and also his power. Now, let's just switch it up, and spoiler alert for those who don't know the comics of the boys, and I've gotten people get mad at me because I spoil the comics of the boys, but I would never recommend to read them because I personally don't believe they're very good anyways. But spoiler alert for the comics of the boys, and that would be that we're going to actually make it so Black Noir and Homelander are the same person, being that of Black Noir is a clone of Homelander, and or at least in the comic. Now, how would they fare against someone like Nappa? Now, I think the fight is a little bit closer. I think Homelander's feats stack up a little bit better. But as I said before, it's kind of tough to deal with somebody who has comparable feats to a lot of faster than light characters. Yes, I'm saying that, and I'm being truthful. And yes, Dragon Ball is very inconsistent in terms of actual power scaling, but at the same time, even if you lowballed Nappa would still be able to turn into an Ozaru, making it so he's 10 times stronger. Yeah, 10 times stronger. We've seen feats that would correlate to him being arguably faster than light, and we have also seen that he is on the weaker side of the two in terms of Nappa and Vegeta. So let's just say these super powered beings and all of these superheroes that were made from a bottle, well, they should have wished upon a star that they were going to be, well, made through, actual good genetics, because they're not going to go down, or they're going to go down way, way easier. And frankly, there's a good chance that they get taken over by the Saiyans entirely. Because like I said, we're just talking about Nappa right now. Nappa going head-to-head with someone like Homelander. Nappa taking down someone like Homelander would be a lot more challenging than obviously dealing with anybody else there, because Homelander is strong. And we've seen Nappa actually lose his temper, lose his control, and make mistakes. And if he's not durable enough, maybe Homelander can find a kill shot to defeat him. But let's just say this. If he turns into an Ozaru, it's over. Now, let's get on to Vegeta, because Vegeta has no qualms with combat. I may sit here and give Homelander this, or give Black Noir, who is a clone of Homelander, that, and I might give them a little leeway here and there with their potential to actually defeat Nappa. but there is no potential to defeat someone like Vegeta. Vegeta's combat prowess, his ability to basically have this insane amounts of combat training, being that he is a Saiyan, and don't get me wrong, Nappa is also part of that argument as well, but Nappa also gets enraged way too easily, loses his focus way too easily, and is way too reckless all the time. So I could see Homelander somehow, some way, depending on how you want to scale Homelander, I could see him somehow squeaking a win against someone like Nappa if he can get him real angry, real riled up, and all of the above, and eventually take him out. But like I said, Ozaru is a totally different conversation that we will stop having for a second here. But when we go to Vegeta, this is a martial artist that is on a totally different level. And on top of that, he has all of the powers times whatever you want to say of Homelander. Because that's what he is, right? Homelander can fly. Vegeta can too. Homelander's extremely powerful. Well, Vegeta's more powerful. But the difference is Vegeta can strike. Vegeta can fight. Homelander is very, very inexperienced. And the only reason why he would even stand remotely a chance against Nappa is the fact that he could rile him up. There is no riling up Vegeta in this scenario. Vegeta is going to ask Homelander, where's Kakarot? Where is he? I mean, we need him now ASAP, but of course Homelander doesn't know who that is, and he wouldn't give information anyways to Vegeta, and he would be too prideful to do so. Vegeta would even nod at the respect of him having pride, but would even remark that the guy is weak. The guy is nothing. The guy is just an ant beneath his boot. And that's exactly what Vegeta would make him look like, because I talked about how fast, how strong Nappa is. Vegeta is so much more powerful than even him. And don't even get me started on Ozaru Vegeta. If he turns into a great ape, it is over. This entire planet will be under the rule and the iron fist of the Saiyans. Well, I guess the two Saiyans that exist in this universe. But I will also say that if the Saiyans invaded the boys' universe, this could lead to some insane, some catastrophic events throughout the entirety of the solar system. Yes, we don't technically know if the boys' universe has otherworldly things happening, right? We don't know if, other places are occupied, but let's just say there is. And the Saiyans, the two that are left, being that of Vegeta and Nappa, decide to take over this entire planet and then reproduce. Yeah, I said it. I know it's a little bit odd, but it is the truth. The Saiyans know that if you have a hybrid child, they would be extremely powerful. So who's to say Vegeta wouldn't approach this in that way? Vegeta got proof from, Earth at one point, that Goku had a son that was extremely powerful. So imagine if he decides to reproduce with someone like Maeve, who's already a combat type of person, or basically find somebody that has V within their bloods or compound V within their blood and have a child with them. This could create some of the scariest warriors known to mankind, or even create some of the scariest warriors known to the universe. So, of course, the question was, could the boys' universe survive the Saiyan invasion? Well, yes and no. In terms of the Seven and all those people, of course not. They would stand absolutely no chance, and the Saiyans would invade and take over everything. In terms of surviving it, well, in a technical sense, they probably could survive it. They would just be, taken over and put to work and controlled entirely. And, well, let's just say Vegeta and Nappa would probably rule the entire universe with an iron fist. Barring, some crazy creatures out there that could possibly exist. You never know, right? It could be. They could exist. But nonetheless, this would definitely lead to the Saiyans taking over not only Earth, but probably the entire universe in their wake. Now, with that said, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about the idea of, could the boys' universe survive the Saiyan invasion? I know this was a little bit different, and I think most of you probably clicked on this video thinking, well, this is a pretty obvious win for the Saiyans, and I couldn't have agreed more. But obviously I wanted to add my little bit of storytelling to it, my little bit of tidbits there, here and there. And yeah, you might disagree with the whole, like, maybe Homelander stands a bit of a chance against Nappa. I'm not going to lie. If you said, hey, Nappa just washes all of them, I wouldn't be too far-fetched on that idea, right? I really wouldn't. Because if you look at some of the feats that these two show, even early on in the series, it's pretty damn insane. Like, really damn insane. Now, like I said, though, I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. Now, with that said, if you enjoyed this video, then YouTube believes that you'll enjoy this one, so might as well go check it out.